And you're up.
Welcome back into our Medical Mutual post-game show here on the Falcon Sports Radio Network. Bowling Green, a 64-47 win over Alabama A&M to improve to 5-1. Head coach Chris Jans joins us now to talk about it. Coach, as we look to this game today, you had a kind of a short turnaround and you had just one day of prep, and Alabama A&M came in here and played you pretty hard today. Just your general feelings on this win.
Yeah, I agree. They started off the game well, and we couldn't separate ourselves at all to start the game. They were excited to play. I felt like going into the game, we wanted to try to lean on our defense, especially in the first half, and try to set the tone. And I thought we did the first 5 minutes of the game. Then we got into the second segment after the first media timeout, and for whatever reason, that group didn't defend quite as well, and then we lost track of number 23, Tab. He had 3 threes in the first half, and we talked about him quite a bit in the second half, but obviously from the stat sheet, we didn't do a very good job against him. He had a heck of a game with 24 points and 10 rebounds.
Coach, no surprise that Alabama A&M threw a zone at you throughout the game. Talk about the progression of your offense. Seemed to get better as you went along, and finally starting to get some things figured out with your zone offense. Your assessment?
I think that will be the silver lining in the game, the fact that we played against a bunch of zone tonight. We hadn't been as good in our previous outings against zone. We had talked about it, and we felt like we'd see some zone, and I was glad that we did, to give us some opportunities in live play to go against, different zones. They only played one possession of the 1-3-1, but a bunch of the 2-3 almost entirely the first 25 minutes of the game. And I thought for the most part we were better. We shared the ball better. We were more organized. We still got to get more aggressive against it. We still play on our heels rather than our toes, but I think the more experience they get going against zone, we'll get better at it, and we're certainly going to benefit from the amount of time we played against it this afternoon.
Bowling Green, a 64-47 win over Alabama A&M here today. Coach, you talk about sharing the ball, 19 assists on 25 field goals. That's a very high assist percentage. Is that an indicator of what you're talking about?
No question. We felt like we hadn't been as good at it lately as maybe we could be, and we talked about paint touches a lot. Getting that ball in the paint, via the bounce, via throwing the ball to the post, whatever way possible of trying to attack the paint. But a lot of times we were getting in there and we were making good moves to get in the paint, but then we were settling for acrobatic finishes around the basket when everyone was converging. The helps all taught to converge to the ball, and guys were wide open, and we weren't sharing it quite as much. And so we try to correct that this week, and obviously that's the stat that jumps out positively more than anything, is to have 19 assists on 25 field goals. Any coach would take that on every night.
Also, you really spread the wealth offensively as 6 guys took at least 5 shots. Is that something we should become accustomed to with what you're trying to do offensively?
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty typical. We'll have a bunch of guys, taking the similar shots and scoring at a similar rate. 12, 10, 11, 7, 6, 8. That will be what we'll look like on most nights, unless someone, really gets it going like Rashawn did the other night. And Zach had a good game here early this season. We've had a bunch of different leading scorers already in a young season, and I love playing that way. I think it's hard to scout against. I think it's hard to prepare against. I think teams and kids like to play that way, knowing that they're going to have opportunities, and when you share the basketball like that, that's what happens.
We talked about the 19 assists as a team, a season high 8 assists for Pep Joseph. Talk about Pep's game today.
He was terrific in terms of his floor game. More importantly, the 8 assists, but more importantly than that, the 0 turnovers. I thought he did a better job of getting them organized against the zone. He didn't have a great night, shooting the basketball, but we know he can shoot it, and he'll do that, and I'm not concerned about him scoring a bunch of points for us. But 8 assists, 0 turnovers, that's excellent, and hopefully he can build off that.
Well, Coach, your club now 5-1 as you turn your attention to the University of Dayton Flyers on Tuesday. As always, we appreciate your time. Congrats on this win today.
Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.
That's head coach Chris Jans joining us on our Wood County Hospital postgame show. Bowling Green, a 64-47 win over Alabama A&M. We'll have more to come. You're listening to Falcon Basketball from Learfield Sports.
Tail